Hello everyone, welcome. And yes, you could probably tell by the title, I couldn't wait until 1.21 to make a new TARDIS data pack. So here it is. A lot of this will be changed when 1.20.5 comes out, as that changes a lot of commands that make this data pack function. So there isn't going to be a set public release until this data pack is 100% done. And then, obviously, if people find bugs and stuff, I'll go through and fix them all. Anyway, to start off the data pack, you have to make the new TARDIS coral spawn egg, and you'll see the recipe on the screen now. And once you have the egg, we'll just go to survival mode, you just place it down, and it'll spawn this coral, and it does take a little while to grow. I have sped it up for, testing purposes, but when I release the data pack, if I remember, I will slow it down a bit. So, yeah, when the TARDIS spawn, when the coral spawns in, it faces north, because that's the way the TARDIS will spawn. So we'll just face north, which is this way, and go into creative mode and wait for it to grow. Actually, I'm just going to show the hotwire because it does have a little bit of text that shows up around about the last stage. There we go. And as you can tell, the TARDIS has grown, and we get the TARDIS key. And I'll explain a little later on why there isn't a recipe for the TARDIS key. Mainly because you get it when the TARDIS grows. But we'll come back to that, don't worry. Anyway, now that the TARDIS has fully grown, you'll see that no matter if we left click or right click, you can't open the TARDIS. So you need the key. So you left click to open. Well, I'll just show you my Minecraft settings right now to show what I mean by left click and right click. As you can see, I have my attack and destroy is right click and my place is left click. So yeah, so I left click and it opens the door, and then if you want to close it, you just right click and it'll give you the key back. So yeah, you just walk into the TARDIS, and we'll leave the door open for now. And as you can probably tell, you do have blindness and darkness. This is because the power is off, so you can't see anything. So to turn the power on, you just want to walk over this up to the console and then click this here, and then it will remove the effects and the power will turn on. Now you'll probably notice the first thing that's pretty obvious is it uses custom models. Now let me just turn my sounds down here a sec. Yeah, this I've decided to go the custom model approach, which honestly is a lot more easier than what I did last time with the mix of normal Minecraft blocks and custom models. So I prefer it overall. Anyway, let's show you around the console room first. Now this is a completely brand new console room that I really like the look of. It does use some of the new Minecraft blocks, hence why it won't be released until 1.21, because right now I'm using the beta data pack thing that they have, so a lot of this is exclusive to 1.21. But yeah, looking around, you'll see we have these copper pipes and these ventilation shafts down here. This is just to sort of show the inner workings of the TARDIS. And then from the main console, there's a lower section and a sort of balcony section. I'll show off the balcony first. So you want to come down here and up the stairs, and you'll see that we have these support beams, sort of like the coral TARDIS. I really like these support beams, and it just A, fills the space, and B, makes it actually look like structurally secure. Same with these quartz like pillars here, with this sort of arc design. Anyway, moving on, you'll see we have some desks around. There's one over there and one over here as well, with a couple of cases for like books and stuff maybe, and then there's some drawers at the bottom. There's also a globe over here as well, which is just a player head that has some data and stuff on top of a wall. And then we have this big glass window here. It's sort of pear shaped, I guess. I don't know what the name of this shape is called, but yeah, it's sort of like a pear. Anyway, we'll move on to the lower level. So you want to come down whichever side you feel like, and then we want to go down these stairs even further. And you'll see that we have this small little library, along with another desk with some papers on and a mug. This is supposed to be a mug, okay? Don't worry. And then you'll see we have this lamp over here, and then this table and chair, and you can actually sit in it. And you can probably tell by the saddle here. It's just an invisible pig and an armor stand for the chair, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, we also have a couple of bookshelves, and also on either side you'll see we have these dark corridors. This one doesn't have anything, but the one over here does, so let me show you that now. So going through, you'll come to this sort of airlock chamber area, and you'll have two options to open and close the airlock. You want to open it, obviously, and then you get this cool little animation. I might add to this where it goes like the air cycle and stuff, and add some more particles to it, but yeah. Anyway, you walk through this sort of spaceship corridor, and then you'll take a right, and the only room I have for now is the engine room here, which is this big empty black room with these 4 main engines, and then this would be the fuel and stuff. You see the signs over here, we have some pressure valves. None of this actually does anything yet. I'm not too sure whether it will, but like I said, I do have quite a lot planned that I will show off at the end of the video actually, so make sure to stick around. But yeah, that is the engine room. Anyway, we're going to head back to the main control room now by heading back down this corridor and closing the airlock door and heading back through. And yeah, we'll head on to the main features of the TARDIS. Now, there are quite a few. Some of them you can probably see in my hotbar right now, so I'm just going to talk through the basics. So when we walked in, you saw that I came over here and flicked this lever. This is the power lever, and with this you can turn the power off and turn it back on again. There we go. And the lights will slowly turn on. And then if we look up, you'll see we have this small little panel with a couple of dials, some levers, some buttons and some valves. The valves don't do anything, and neither does this dial. But these buttons here are related to this valve here. If you press this valve, you'll see that it says our fuel is 9,871, and that isn't the max fuel, and the way we get that fuel to the max is press this button here, and it'll say that it's refueling. And if we give it a second, if that's to go away, I don't know why. There we go. That's bugged, that's why. There we go. I'll get onto why that's bugged, and I know how to fix it, so don't worry. But yeah, we'll see we have 10,000 fuel. So that's it for these two here. The final two we have on this panel is this radio here, which can play any music in the game. And we'll come back to this radio later, because there's more sort of features to do with it that relate to other pieces on the console. And yeah, finally we have this lever here, and if we press this, we'll see that it closes the door and gives us the key back. That's why there is no recipe for the key, because say if you lose the key, you just open and close the door and you get another one back anyways, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, this open and closes the door. Anyway, we'll move on to this panel here, and the only function on this panel for now is the fabricator, which if you click on it, and this is a little reference to the 60th anniversary, you'll get a coffee bucket. Now you're probably thinking, why a coffee bucket? And my answer to that is, it's Minecraft, and practically everything is in a bucket. So, well, every fluid is in a bucket, so I thought, why not? And that just replaces milk, so no effects or anything. But there is also another feature for this fabricator, and that is with these 4 items here, the upgrades. Now, what I wanted to do with this data pack is sort of have a progression system, so you don't get everything right away like you did with my old data pack. So for now we have 4 upgrades, only 3 of them sort of actually do something. 2 of them, these 2 here, actually 100% work, and the other 2 aren't fully implemented yet. So we'll just go through them in order. The first one we have is the dimension upgrade, and this allows you to travel from, as you can see, the overworld to the nether to the end, and the recipe for that is on screen now. Next up we have the security upgrade. This doesn't do anything yet, but in the future I want to add security features that I'll show you at the end of the video, but that is made like this. After that we have the flight speed upgrade, which I'll also show you what I want to do at the end of the video, but that is made like this. And last but not least we have the music upgrade, which coincides with the radio and the monitor, which I'll get onto next, but that is made like this. And to put these into the console, you just click on the fabricator with them and it'll take them, and you don't have them anymore, they're inserted into the TARDIS. But yeah, anyway, for now we're going to skip the rest of the console because it's all to do with flight, and head over to the monitor, which is this here. And if we click on this, it will pop up this GUI. I decided to do this because I've never actually seen this done in Minecraft before, so unless it doesn't already exist, I'll say this is pretty unique. But yeah, for now we only have 2 options, and that is, well, technically 3. We have the exit monitor button, which just leaves the monitor. We also have the settings button and the music button. Now, with the settings button, if you click on it, you'll see we have one option called tooltips. And if we click on tooltips and exit out the monitor, you'll see that every single feature on this console now has a tooltip, just labeling what it does. Yeah, even all of this does over here, and the zigzag plotter, which doesn't currently do anything except for move. Yeah, that is tooltips, so we'll close out of that. And then this jukebox here is what the music upgrade is for. So usually if you don't have the upgrade and you click on this, it will say that you need the upgrades to use this. So that's why I inserted them all at the start. So you just click on this and you have every single disc that the radio plays, but you can just select any single one you want. Whereas with the radio it will go to a list. I actually added this because people that I showcased this off suggested that I add this. So there you go. You're welcome. Now that's it for the monitor for now. I am going to leave the tooltips off because I know what every control does and it does get a little bit annoying. But we're going to head on to the panel next to it here. And there's only 3 controls here. We have the handbrake, which can be enabled and disabled. That was the other way around, but you get the gist. We also have the direction controls here, which don't do anything until you've actually taken off. And then we have the bell, which just rings for now, but we'll do more stuff in the future, like most of the stuff on the console will. Anyway, heading over to here, we have the coordinate panel. You have your X, Y, and Z. This here changes the dimension between the overworld, the nether, and the end. This here sets your coordinates, and then this is to increase 1, 10, and 100. And then finally we have the throttle here. Now that is basically it for flight. So I'm going to show you some cool little features that I've added quite recently actually. One of them is to do with taking off. So before I had it so if you took off with the handbrake on, it would play as like an extra sound and say that it can't take off. But I've just re-watched the 3 specials from the 60th anniversary again, and in the last episode, at the very end, and this has been used in the TARDIS before, but when the Doctor pulls the throttle and leaves the handbrake up, it does this cool little sound, which I'll show off now really quickly. So the handbrake is on here, and if we pull the throttle, it will say, let me just turn my game sounds down even more. It will say, as you saw, initializing takeoff, and the rotor will start moving and stuff. And then if we head outside, you can hear the rotor noise again. It's basically just to indicate that the TARDIS is taking off. And then to cancel that, you just hit it again and it'll say cancelling takeoff. You can also initiate takeoff and then pull the handbrake and then the TARDIS will take off. Or you can just take the handbrake off and take off. I'm going to leave it on for now. And we are going to move the TARDIS from over here. And let's just move it all the way over here to this tree over here. So we'll just get the coordinates of where we want to go. And we want to face east. So we'll head back into the TARDIS. There we go. Head back into the TARDIS. Close the door behind us. We'll take off the handbrake and pull the throttle. And we'll take off. So I'll just let this play out. Okay, as you can see, this does get very loud. I do apologise for keep turning down my sound settings, but there we go. So as you can see, or as you saw, it said that we were entering the vortex. That means we can now set our destination and stuff. So we want to go to positive 39. So we press the 10 and press the X 3 times, then press the 1 and then press that to 9. And that works the exact same for all these. And then say if you accidentally do 41, you just right click to set it back. So I'll just type in these coordinates really quick. Okay, now before we set the coordinates, we actually want to set our dimension to the overworld, and we'll set our facing to east. And then we'll press the button, and it'll say moving to destination. And then we can land the TARDIS. And you'll see these cool little particle effects, this up here. You'll also see that the lights spin. And yeah, we'll land the TARDIS. There we go. And then we'll press the bell. Why not? There we go. And then we can leave the TARDIS and you'll see that we've moved. And it also changed day. That is just a Minecraft thing. I haven't currently added time travel or like weather change and stuff yet. That's basically it for the main TARDIS features. So I'm going to show you what I want to add now. Also a couple like behind the scenes stuff. So if we go over here, you'll see this board of all these signs. Some of them, well, most of them are red. And then this one, which is the upgrade, is yellow because I've already started working on it. That means this one should be yellow as well. But this is the main sort of stuff I have planned for now. So we'll go through them in order. We have the gear shift, which is this here, basically the zigzag plotter. What it's going to do is it's just going to increase flight speed and it will use more fuel and stuff. It does actually use more fuel currently, that's why I had it set to 0. And then this would coincide with flight events. So you have like a sequence of buttons, or just like a couple buttons show up, and then some side effects if you fail. But flight events would only show up if you're over like a speed of 1. So what I might do is have 3 speed sort of systems: slow, medium and fast. And then if you're slow, you can take off and land like for how long you want it to take, and you'll have no flight events. Medium, it will use up more fuel, probably 15% more fuel, and you'll only have like the individual flight events where they'll show up every so often, and they'll show up like very slowly, and with that you can take off and land whenever you want. And then with the high mode, or the high system even, you'll get sequence flight events that'll appear more frequently, and you will have no choice when to land. It will be like a set time. Anyway, that's it for those systems. The upgrades I've already talked about how I want them to basically unlock pieces of the TARDIS that are locked at the start. One of those is security. So I want to add stuff like HADs, siege mode, and the alarms for say if like mobs are inside the TARDIS, or if there's mobs nearby the TARDIS, it'll tell you them. And then final one, well actually that's it for the upgrades. I think I might add one for exterior view, which, yeah, I'm going to skip this because I've already talked about this, but exterior view basically does what it says on the tin. In the monitor, once you put an upgrade ship in, it'll unlock the exterior view and you can just see where you are for like as long as you want pretty much. But yeah, that is basically it for the TARDIS data pack. Now I'm going to end this video off by showing you what the TARDIS looks like dematerializing and rematerializing, because it's not just your basic, flight sound effect. So enjoy.